Much that once was is lost, for none now live who remember it. It began with the forging of the great rings. 3 were given to the elves, immortal, wisest and fairest of all beings. 7 to the dwarf lords, great miners and craftsmen of the mountain halls. And 9 rings were gifted to the race of men, who above all else desire power. For within these rings was bound the strength and the will to govern each race, but they were all of them deceived. For another ring was made, deep in the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom. The Dark Lord Sauron forged a master ring, and into this ring he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life. 1 ring to rule them all.
Stay on the board, boys.
The Lord of the Rings, Duel for Middle-earth.
Yippee!
That's the intro to Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, also...
I was gonna say, I don't think that's the back of the box on this one.
No.
Also, 1 ring to rule them all. 1 ring to find them. And in the darkness, bind them. I think that's the inscription, right?
It is.
Yes.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Board Boys Podcast, Season 16, Episode 4. Tonight on the podcast, The Lord of the Rings, Duel for Middle-earth. This is your board boy, 2-player Rob.
This is your board boy. Yo, what's up?
This is your board boy, Dunk That Ring, JT.
Okay, so what's up? That's actually board boy Beau.
Yeah, I'm here.
This might be your first full episode that's not a bonus
What
episode.
do you mean my first full episode?
I don't think you've been on a regular episode of the Board Boys Podcast, only bonus episodes.
But I've been featured in saying...
Yes.
That's true. I mean, you've been...
saying 1 word.
But you're actually kind of hosting right now.
There's a fork in the road, and there's no one, and there's 2.
You got to be louder than that.
Plug or beef? I don't know.
You want to do a plug or beef?
Plug or
Yeah,
beef?
let's do a plug or beef.
I remember that.
Let's do a plug or beef on every game. Then let's say our cons and our
Pros?
Pros and cons.
So we did something a little weird tonight. The rest of the boys were unavailable, so we cracked out a bunch of 2-player games. The last time I did this with our buddy Joe, we played like 4 games. And we played 4 games tonight, even though...
We did play 4.
I'm featuring the Duel for Middle-earth here because it's kind of the newest, hottest one. But we also have played King of Tokyo Duel. We also played Star Wars, the Deckbuilding game. And then just to compare and contrast Duel for Middle-earth with 7 Wonders Duel, we also busted out and played 7 Wonders Duel. So it was more fresh in our minds so we could kind of compare the 2. We have done 7 Wonders Duel on a past episode of the podcast. Your mom was actually on that episode, I think. She loves 7 Wonders Duel because she generally beats me.
Has she tried this Lord of the Rings version yet?
Yeah, she beat me in that too.
The only reason she likes it is because that she can win.
That's true. She does like winning a lot.
Yeah.
She's competitive, huh?
Yeah. We had a live stream with this, so you can go to our YouTube channel and go check out all the games played there. And Jeremy's reminding me that we also played Star Wars, the Deckbuilding game.
And I played a 5th one. I played with Beau on this crazy chess set that maybe we can talk just a little bit about
That's
too.
true. We will also be talking about the ChessUp 2, which is a Kickstarter that I got Beau and my parents for Christmas, and we'll kind of talk about what the heck that thing is.
Then they also you guys also played the very sick game of King of Tokyo Duel, which in my opinion has really good art.
Yeah. So I think we got a lot to unpack this episode. Beau, you said you wanted to do a plug or beef.
Plug.
Do you have something you want to talk about, and then we'll guess whether it's a plug or beef?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the topic?
Wait, not the board games? What?
Now, normally plug or beef is like something different.
Something you're really excited about or mad about.
So something you're angry about that you're beefing with, or something that you're really pumped about that you want to plug.
Yeah, so
why don't you start with the theme song, since you want to do that?
Okay. There's a fork in the road, and we don't know which way to go. Plug or beef?
Okay.
Beef or plug?
So, what are you gonna do? You want to? What is your topic?
My topic is, I mean, like, with all of these new kinds of card collecting games coming out. What I'm talking about is like the new Pokemon series.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think you're plugging that because you love more Pokemon.
I think it's a beef because you're tired of all these cards coming out and your kids asking you to buy them, and then you buy them and then they never play them.
I'm not an adult.
Oh, maybe that's me. Sorry.
That sounds familiar.
Is it a plug or a beef for me?
I think it's a plug.
I think it's a beef.
It's a beef.
Yeah!
It's giving, like, there's this same cards over and over, but they're just saying, like, oh, this one's an EX. Oh, this one is slightly shinier than this one.
You figured them out?
Oh, this one is not a Gigantamax. It's a Dynamax.
But
I don't even know what that means.
Give me more money is what they're saying, right?
Yeah, and then, like, I'm like, this is the same card all of these times.
Yes.
I the only thing that I like about it is Gigantamax Pokemon and the Pokédex for them, because those are cool.
So my son, we went to Dungeons Gate, and he had me buy a pack of the new Star Wars trading card game. I don't remember what it's called. We've never played it. We don't have any of the cards, and he wanted just one pack. I was like, why are we buying one pack? But he used his own money, so I said, all right, you do you.
You didn't buy the Star Wars Unlimited.
Star Wars Unlimited.
Yeah, and it's fun. I told
you. He didn't want a starter deck. He just wanted one booster pack.
But you can't do anything with that.
He just looked at him, and then he was done.
What I wanted to say was, at Dungeons Gate currently, they have a Pokemon set. You know, like the original, like 100 Pokemon?
Yeah.
It's a set, but it's got, like, new art versions of the original.
Oh, like alternate art?
I mean, those are my favorite Pokemon.
All of the original ones.
Have you played any of the Pokemon video games? My son just bought a Pokemon Switch game.
We literally only have Let's Go Pikachu, and that's the only one I've ever played.
We just bought one. I don't remember what it's called, but there's two versions, Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, Scarlet and Violet.
It's the same game, but slightly different.
That's like every Pokemon game ever.
The only thing
they did come out with multiple versions.
Yeah, and they're just like labeled different colors.
Scarlet and Violet, Scarlet is where you run into...
We got Scarlet.
Scarlet is the one where you run into the orange...
There's like a red guy.
Yeah, the red dinosaur character from, like, the past, Carneades. Then, if you get Violet, then it's the purple one from the future, Miraidon. Actually, no, Miraidon is the orange one. Carneades is the...
I don't know.
Well, welcome to Pokemon Corner with Beau.
There's a new podcast idea.
Yeah, so this is a board game podcast, and we talk about board games. So we're going to hit a game we played each, and then we're going to get into the beef of this, I think. The beef, I want to talk about Stamp Swap. This was a review copy that we received from Stonemaier Games, and I've got to play it a couple of times now. It is currently ranked 3,880 overall. It's 1 to 5 players, 20 to 60 minutes, and it's by Paul Solomon. And the publisher is Stonemaier Games. In Stamp Swap, you are collecting stamps. There are 3 phases, and you play 3 days. The first phase, you're just drafting. You flip over these 2 cards, and you draft stamps back and forth around the table for how many players you've got. Then you get to reserve one of those 6 stamps because everybody's picking 6. And then you're going to do an I split, you choose. Everyone splits the rest of theirs into 2 stacks. And then whoever has the first player token, which, by the way, is one of the draftable items, and if it's undrafted, the last player gets it. Whoever has that token gets to pick any other player and grab one of their 2 piles. Let's say I grab Jeremy's pile, and then Jeremy then takes his other pile and puts it on the bottom of his board. Nobody else can take that. Then Jeremy gets to pick somebody's pile, and so on and so forth until everyone's picked a pile from somebody else. Then everyone at the same time puts the stuff on their board. Then everyone will score. Every board is different. Every board has a thing that, like, you score a certain kind of stamp. You count those up. The first player token is worth 2 points. And then there are 4 random scoring conditions. And you have these little tickets. And you put a ticket on the scoring condition you want to score this round. And you can't score it again for the rest of the game. So you can look ahead and be like, I want to build towards that one and do it last and get a bunch of points. maybe I'm not going to do a bunch more of this one, so I'm going to score it now. You do that 3 times. At the end of the last day, there's like an ultimate scorecard that you check, and then you get points for all the things that are on your stamps, like there's point values on them, and maybe points for a couple other small things. There's also cards that are draftable. So when you flip those cards up at the beginning, they have an event, so a rule that changes the rules for that round. It tells you what you put out there to be drafted. And one of the things that you can put out there to draft are these cards. And these cards give you like special abilities throughout the game too, if you decide to keep them. All in all, Stamp Swap plays super quick. It was fun with 2 players. And I think up to 5 would be great as well. This was a game that I totally was, when they brought it out, I was like, like I didn't care about the theme. I totally didn't pay any attention to it. But after playing it, it's solid. Like if you like I Split, You Choose, I think it's super fun to draft. And then sometimes you'd be like, well, I'm not going to draft that because maybe I'll just take it from somebody later.
That's interesting.
And I think that's a fun thing to think about. There's also these special foil stamps that you can't reserve, but they're worth like 10 or 12 points, and that's a lot of points in this game. So if you take those, you have to put them in a pile to be taken. Like that's not a reservable item. So that's an interesting thing. And there's different shapes of stamps too.
What do they do for the components for the stamps?
They're just wood tokens. And then the other cool part is the setup cards tell you to put the stamps some face up, some face down for the sizes. And so when you take the face down one, you get to peek at it. But when you make the piles, it's still face down for the other people.
So only you know?
Yeah. So that's interesting. And so it's kind of like that game Sunday Split that you played, Beau, with the ice cream. The I Split, You Choose is the same kind of deal.
Except you can steal other people's stuff. So
that's true.
You can't steal my ice cream once I get it in that game.
Yeah. So that's Stamp Swap. I would highly recommend giving it a shot. I think the price point on it is fairly good as well.
Interesting.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I was going to talk about, this is not a new game. I was going to talk about Eclipse Second Dawn for the Galaxy. This is the 2nd edition of Eclipse. Designer is Toyoko Takaolio.
Nailed it.
I'm not going to try to say the artists, but one of their names is Juka. That's kind of a cool name. Eclipse is a 4X game, and I got it out 2 players. I've mostly played it 2 players. I've kind of decided it's not the best 2 players because it kind of becomes a PvE game versus each other. But I did read online that there's a variant of how you can set up the Galaxy for 2 players that might make it have more interaction in combat. So I do want to kind of try that. Eclipse is it's a game that I've loved for years, and I bought a copy secondhand at BGGCon, and I definitely see some flaws. It's long. There's some randomness that can be frustrating, like when you flip over what you explore and it's like a garbage sector. It kind of doesn't feel great. But I think the thing that's the most fun in it is teching out your ships like the way you want them teched out. There's all these different techs that come out and they're random, and you can build your own combination of like your killer ship. So like I did one where on my tiny ship, I put these missiles that did a bunch of damage, and I put computers that made them hit. But the missiles are a one shot. One time you shoot your shot and then they don't shoot anymore. And so that was kind of like this kamikaze fleet that would come in with like a bunch of little ships and try to kill you in one shot. And then I'd have one ship behind them just trying to survive if we had to keep shooting.
See, I never played the original Eclipse. I haven't played Eclipse at all. I'd like to try the 2nd edition. I always hear Tony on the Secret Cabal talk about it. And in the 1st edition, I guess there's something broken, like some kind of missile thing is broken.
Oh.
Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I do think there's certain techs that seem like as soon as they come out, you have to get them, which is one of the randomest things I think people might not like because turn order can change, and whoever is first gets first dibs at the new techs that came out. And if one of those kind of powerful ones comes out, it's whoever's first is going to get it.
Gotcha.
It's fun though. I do like Eclipse. I've been playing it on the app. If you have never played the app before.
Is that the first one?
There's a 1st edition app, but I just downloaded the 2nd edition app. And so I've been playing that.
Okay.
And it's definitely more fun with like 4 or more players, but you're going to be there for 3, 4, 5 hours. So
I'll see if I can figure out what the broken thing is in the first one and ask you what you think. Because I think he figured it out, or maybe like it's a known thing on BGG. And they probably fixed it in the second edition. I think they did from listening to them. But I think he learned it like just from playing the app a bunch.
Oh, okay.
Like the first edition app. Beau told me he would like to talk about Lifeboats, Plank of Carneades. This re-implements a really old game called Lifeboats that came out in 1993. And you can't get it anymore. And we were at Gen Con last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we were walking through like the vendor area. They kind of had like a pre-show setup thing that we went to the day before. And I walked by Lifeboats, and the people, this is brought out by, it's from Broadway Toys Limited, which are from China, but they were over here. And they got the rights, I guess, and they reprinted this game. Unfortunately, I don't think you can get it in the US right now at this moment. I know it came out at Essen too. Hopefully they'll get some distribution and it'll come out here. Because it plays 3 to 7 players. It's fairly light. I will say, personally, as the person that read the rule book, it's pretty rough because of, it's kind of got the all your base are belong to us issue. If you remember that from the old Nintendo game. But the translation's rough. But the game is simple enough that it's not too bad. I actually just finished up printing, because we played it this week again.
Yeah.
And I made a little print up sheet. So next time I pull the game out to play it, I can scan that really quickly and just know what the rules going forward. So Beau, what did you like about, because I think this is the first time you got to play Lifeboats, right? Yeah. Now that you got to play it.
Very cutthroat. And I like that. It was also...
Does it mean? So
can you want to talk about what you do?
Yeah. So, in the first time, so you pick a color and you get 2 captains and a couple of characters. And then you pick your boat. You're going to put them in the first space. And then there's islands that have different points for different characters. And then, your goal is to get to the island. And then you get to take turns, starting from the person who has the first player token, placing your characters in different boats. Me personally, I placed most of mine in a boat that I trust, and then eventually that ended up with me having every one of my characters in one boat. But then that boat just didn't get to it's like it was the last one out there.
Yeah, Beau learned real quick that I think in that game that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you kind of got to work together. So it's a big time negotiation game.
Oh no.
And you can lie and so basically you take there's 3 things.
Can you throw people overboard?
Yeah. So phase 1, you all play a card and you vote on what boat is going to get a leak in it.
Oh no.
Okay. If there's no room in that boat, if there's room in that boat, the leak goes in an empty space. If there's no room in that boat, then a vote occurs for just the people in that boat, and the captains are worth 2 value, the crew are worth 1 value, and the people in that boat vote
a color.
A color to kick out, and then that guy's just out of the game.
And just dead?
Yeah, and you get points by getting your guys all the way across the board, right?
If there's a captain of that color, then you always take the little guys first.
Yep. And so there are 3. So everyone has a card of every other player's color, and then you have 3 captain cards. And if you play a captain card and no one else plays a captain card, you just get to pick what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And when you play the captain card, it can even mean you place 0, 1, or 2 leaks. Okay? And the thing is, if someone else also played their captain card, then they cancel each other out. So you only have 3 of them, and those don't come back to your hand. So it's all about the timing on when you play those. So there's the leak phase. Then you vote on moving a boat. Whoever has the most gets to move. If the boat has a leak in it, it gets
vote. Is the people in it vote
no,
on
everyone
moving?
votes on a boat
votes.
to move.
Oh, okay.
Then the boats go faster when there's more leaks in the boat.
Yeah, so if the boat has a leak in it, it moves 2. If there's no leak in it, it moves 1.
I don't know about thematically, if that makes sense. But...
Right. Well, it really amps up the tension.
I can see that.
And then at the end of the round, everyone has to jump. Only one person per boat has to jump out. So basically...
so it forces a shuffle.
Yeah, so basically in turn order, everyone jumps out of a boat, and everyone has to jump out of a different boat, and then in reverse turn order, you have to jump back in a boat, and it has to be a different boat than the one you jumped out of.
Interesting.
Then you go back around and you keep doing that until there's one boat left. And
so you're making like deals with people?
Yeah.
Like, let me jump over there. Like,
yeah, it's very group dependent, and it's super mean. So if like that is not your group's jam, skip this one. If it is, maybe go find an old copy of Lifeboats.
So is Beau mean in the game, or does he get mad in the game?
I thought I had an alliance.
You thought you had an alliance, and then they backstabbed you?
Yeah, then I tried to take out their entire thing, and I'm pretty sure I left them with like 2 little guys and a captain.
I'm not good at games like that because I'm too nice and not good at lying. I bet, is Cam good at a game like that?
Yeah, he likes wheeling and dealing.
I played TI4 with him, and I won't say he lied, but he's a good wheeler dealer of getting what he wants, but still being a nice guy about it.
Right. He's a manipulator.
That is
true. Manipulator.
Yeah. Basically, never take the first deal Cam ever offers you in any game ever. That is what I've learned. We do want to talk about one other game. It is currently ranked 446 on Board Game Geek, and it is called Chess. It was developed in 1475, according to BGG.
1475.
Right? And specifically, we're talking about the ChessUp. If you go to playchessup.com, I got this as a Kickstarter. It is the ChessUp 2, so it's the second one that came out. And last year, early in the year, they had a Kickstarter, and they said, we're going to deliver this by Christmas. I'm like, okay, well.
Did they do it?
They did it.
They did it?
They made it, yep. Mm-hmm. And they had a deal where I bought 2, and so I gave one to my parents because my dad likes chess, and I got one for Beau and us because he showed an interest in chess, and he went to chess camp. I love
chess; it's super fun.
Yeah, you went to chess camp for a week this year, and he really liked it. And so with the ChessUp 2, it can hook up to your Wi-Fi. It can hook up to chess.com, and basically you can play anybody from your board on chess.com. So you're moving like physical pieces instead of in front of your computer, and it just lights the board up. If you go to our live stream for the 2-player thing that we did tonight, you'll be able to see it in action. It also has things where you can have settings of how much it helps you. So at the most help, it'll start telling you what are good moves and bad moves by lighting up green and red spaces. But with no help, it still shows you how the pieces move. So it's a really good way to learn chess. And if you want to play with a handicap against somebody else, you could give them a bump up. You can also play against bots. Like I played against Santa Claus.
I played against Magnus Carlsen various times.
No, that was me. That was no, it was me.
Well, Beau
was making all those decisions.
Yeah.
I played Magnus
and I checkmated you. I mean,
no, you didn't. That was Magnus Carlsen's bot.
But I was moving the pieces for him. So wait, Dad, how much credit do I get?
That's true.
Dad, I have a question for you. Plug or beef. Magnus Carlsen's bot's text.
I don't like his text at all. That's a beef.
What?
Like, so the bots like to smack talk you while you're playing, and they'll be like, "That was an interesting move," and I'm like, "Get out of here."
My dad called him a diva.
Yeah.
So have you played this against your dad or grandpa?
We haven't. So their board actually was faulty when they got it.
No.
And it took them a while to we were gone over Christmas, and so I didn't really get to help them set it up. And then Beau was over there, and they finally got it to set up, and they found out it was faulty. And my mom just shipped it back, or they shipped her a new one, and the new one works. So I think tomorrow we're gonna try to get together with them and try to do it online and see how it works. So
we're gonna battle online?
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat him.
So you can just FaceTime each other or something, and then have the board set up, and the board will show you their move, and then you move the piece, and then you move your piece, and then they do vice versa
and
over on the other side.
Randos on chess.com.
Yeah, you can just play random,
and it would show you where they moved.
Yep,
wait, Dad,
100%.
Dad, I think it would be fun to put have a stack of books on a chair, and then put the phone on the stack of books, then they can like
across from you.
Yeah, so then it looks like they're actually there. I don't know. I thought that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about the Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth. It re-implements Seven Wonders Duel, which we also play tonight, so we will kind of be able to give a good compare and contrast. It is currently ranked 60th overall, and this thing just came out. It is 8.4 on Board Game Geek. Play as the Fellowship or Sauron and attempt to determine the fate of Middle-earth. It's 2 players, best at 2. We did it. 30 to 45 minutes, ages 10 plus. The weight is 2.06 out of 5. The designer is Antoine Bauza and Bruno Catala, which is the same as Seven Wonders Duel. And the artist is Vincent Dutrait, and the publisher is Repos Productions. So in Lord of the Rings, the Duel for Middle-earth, one side plays the Fellowship, one side plays the Sauron forces, and you basically make a little tree of cards, and you can take the cards. There's resource cards. There's blue cards that move this ring track in the middle of the board. There are red fighting cards, which let you add units to the board. There are yellow cards that give you money. There's gray cards that just count as resources. And there's green cards that give you these symbols that if you acquire them will let you get these little cool tokens, give you special powers. Those are like the Alliance or the Science tokens in the Seven Wonders Duel. There are 3 ways to win the game. One is you rally the support of all 6 races of Middle-earth, getting all 6 green symbols. You complete the quest of the One Ring, which if you're the Fellowship, you move the slider all the way to Mount Doom and dunk the ring. Or if you're the Sauron player, you have the little slider over the other slider that catches the ring on that one. Or you have someone in all the different spaces of Middle-earth and you conquer it that way. My initial thoughts was, I saw this at Gen Con actually, and I was like, Lord of the Rings and Seven Wonders Duel, 2 things I like. This was a no-brainer for me to go and purchase it.
The box art is cool.
I agree with you. I really like the box art.
I haven't played it, but my only comment, box art is cool. Plug.
My initial thoughts was, I played Seven Wonders Duel in the past. I liked it. I like this theme better. I hope it's cool.
Yeah. So pros for me, the theme.
100%.
I really like the theme. My other huge pro is the way that they do buying of cards in this one. I always thought the buying of cards in Seven Wonders Duel was just really clunky, where you had to pay 2 coins and then a coin per symbol the opponent had. No matter what, in Lord of the Rings Duel, you're just paying $1 for every symbol you don't have.
I really like that simplification.
It's just super easy. Bam, it's done. I really like that.
Playing Duel tonight, it was annoying to be, how much does this cost? Do I have enough? How many do you have over there? I don't understand why you would want. Yeah. I think this simplification really is a big plus on the design.
My other big pro is the 3 ways to win. None of them are points. They're just all flat out I win conditions, which I think is cool.
Yeah, I like that too. I think it helps. I don't know. It helps maybe keep more tension in the game, because in Seven Wonders Duel, it seems like a lot of times it goes to points and those other conditions don't happen very much, and people do them just enough to not lose by them. And in Lord of the Rings Duel, since the point is out the window, it's just balancing all those 3 things. So it feels like more of a tug of war or a thing you're trying to keep balance.
Yeah, it didn't go to points tonight.
No, man. Military.
You militaried me in Seven Wonders Duel.
Yeah.
It also lets you see what would happen if Sauron won.
Yeah.
That's true. If he won, that's what it's like, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the components are really nice. The little guys, the little map.
Screen printed meeples.
Yeah,
and the towers.
Ultimately, I've played this game a bunch so far, and I've seen every different way win. I'd say the map victory seems to be the hardest one. But I really like being able to push and pull on all 3 fronts, basically.
I like that.
And the special tokens, those tokens that you get from getting the green symbols, I think are kind of like, we played with the Pantheon expansion tonight from Seven Wonders Duel, which I've not played before. And those kind of felt like the Pantheon expansion a little bit, where it gave you just an extra bonus. But those things are super powerful.
They're so fun to get, like,
yeah,
pulling those out and having that crazy power. So the original Seven Wonders Duel, none of those are kind of special powers. It was just that expansion that made some of those things special powers. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely like that.
Well, the green tokens had a special power on them, I guess, that you got. So I guess those are similar. I guess they're similar to the green tokens, but I think they're better. Like, they're stronger.
They seem really good.
They seem way stronger than the science token.
Every run, you're like, man, that one he got's broken.
Yeah, like,
but they're all like that.
Because like some of them let you when you take a certain card, do an ability of another card. Like when you play a blue card, also put a unit on the board. So you're pushing two things, like two victory conditions with one card, which is cool. I also think you don't buy your own wonders or build your own wonders now. Now you buy those tower cards, the little squares.
From a shared pool that's like a race to get, or
and like they get more expensive the more you buy them. I think those are cool. I like how they did the wonders as well. And
I like that too.
And I'd say a prawn. Originally, I did not like the art. I really like the art now. I think on our Instagram, I'm going to try to put it together, or I'll try to find the picture. All the red cards create a battle scene if you put them together.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and all the art's really good. I just didn't like the golem art.
It's a little originally. One of them, I think he looks maybe like he's kind of furry.
Yeah,
and he's got like blue hair. And that golem shouldn't be furry with blue hair. Like,
nobody needs
he should be slimy.
I want to see it.
Oh, I'll show you after we're done.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my main thing. And I don't know, just the resources are easier.
It's less complicated.
It is. Like
I don't think I could do Duel with my kids.
Yeah.
I think there's too much that you're trying to look at each other, and there's too much you're trying to balance, and too much chaining of the cards. I think the Middle Earth game, I think I could play with some of my kids.
Yeah, and I think we were playing with the expansion I hadn't played with before, but I was in the rule book way more looking at symbols and things in Seven Wonders Duel as well. So like I think it is a tad more complicated than
Duel is more complicated.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a 2.06 and Seven Wonders Duel is a 2.23 on BGG. So, I mean, it's slightly more complex.
I noticed in the top 100, Duel is higher. It's like 20s or 30s, maybe 6, somewhere in there. The Lord of the Rings one's already at 60, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets up there. And then I guess I didn't mention this because it's never happened to me, but if none of the 3 conditions are reached by the end of chapter 3, whoever is in the most regions on the map wins.
Oh.
And if you're tied there, you share victory. So I guess there's a rare chance that you could tie in this game, which I guess could be a con for me. But I do like that is the tiebreaker, because I think the map is the hardest one to win in. So that probably makes sense for that to be the tiebreaker.
I will say in Seven Wonders Duel, my brain was thinking more. In the Lord of the Rings Duel, it feels a little more chill. Like, I'm not turning my gears as much, trying to figure out what my best moves are, and I'm just kind of more free to just kind of play and talk. In Seven Wonders Duel, maybe I just have to play it more. I was having to think, and I was having to look at your stuff, and I was having to try to grok out how to get my wonder built. So I was thinking a lot more, which for some people, they might prefer that. They might prefer a more thinky version of the game. I feel like the Lord of the Rings one is just a little more streamlined and simplified, and it's maybe a little more of a chill game.
I would definitely agree with that. I actually, when I played this, I was like, oh, this murdered Seven Wonders Duel for me, and I was probably going to get rid of it. But after playing Seven Wonders Duel again, I think I'm going to actually keep it, because it's different enough, and that expansion is really cool, and it is a little thinkier, and I still really like it. I would probably play. I think I would play the Lord of the Rings one over this one every time, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't pull the other one out. The other thing I didn't remember or didn't notice was the 7 Wonder Duels cards are so much smaller than the Lord of the Rings
They
ones.
were tiny.
Yeah, I like the simplified games and not thinky.
You like games that are a little more streamlined and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you would like 7 Wonders Duel or
I think you would, too.
the Duel for Middle Earth.
I like the art too.
Yeah, well, you think you'll give this one a try?
Especially if at the end you let me put all the red cards together.
it might be your 4-boing game.
But Beau has a lot of 4 boings.
I have infinite 4 boings. That's just my set.
Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead. This is going to be kind of a weird thing. I'm going to give the rating scale thing now, and I'm not going to do it for every game, but here on the Board Voice podcast and our final thoughts, we have a 3-boing rating scale, 0 being the worst, 3 being the best. One time you give a 4-boing game rating, half boings are allowed. A 0-boing game of the Duel for Middle Earth, I think, would be, I think Sauron gets the ring. You know what? Golem gets the ring and becomes the Lord of Middle Earth, which would be terrible.
And it's a tie.
I would, and you tie. I would not want to be there.
Can I say the 10?
Sure. What is the 3
10
boing?
is you get to Mount Doom and you throw the ring in and Golem doesn't bite his finger off.
Whoa, spoilers.
Then
What? I've never seen this.
Golem jumps into the lava.
Oh, so basically Frodo keeps his finger.
Yes, yummy finger.
All right. I'll go first. This is a 3-boing game. I can play this with pretty much anybody. You can set it up. You can be done in 20, 25 minutes. I love it. Love Lord of the Rings. I mean, I got an arm dedicated to them with tattoos. So it made a game I already like better, simpler, more streamlined. There's no reason not to pick this one up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go same 3 boings. I don't know why I haven't picked this one up yet. I think I
thought
will.
You had.
I haven't.
You picked up the trick-taking game.
I got the trick-taking game. I do think I would probably keep this over 7 Wonders Duel. But I don't know that I have. I mean, that's such a small footprint. It's not taking up that much shelf space, but I would prefer to play the Lord of the Rings version, I think, probably every time.
All right, Beau, what would your rating be just by looking at the game?
4 boing.
Yeah.
4-boinger.
I knew it.
All right, every time.
Mostly the Sauron half, though.
All right. Well, that was 7 Wonders, or that was Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth.
Very
and
good.
The comparison with 7 Wonders Duel a little bit. We're going to jump into King of Tokyo Duel now.
Get ready for the ultimate fight. King of Tokyo Duel. The fun and tactical giant monster clash dice game. Roll the dice, pull the marker to win. Fame or destruction. Or smash your rival to death. Master unique powers.
It is currently 3,613 on Board Game Geek. It re-implements King of Tokyo. It came out in 2024. It is 7.2. Best at 2 players, 20-minute playtime, ages 8+. Weight is 2.18 out of 5. So slightly weightier than the Lord of the Rings game. It is designed by good old Richard Garfield, and it's put out by Iello. Art is by Quentin Regnis.
I think I've heard of Richard Garfield. What else has he made?
King of Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
All right, in King of the Tokyo Duel, if you've ever played King of Tokyo, it is you probably know 80% of this game, I'd say, especially if you played like King of New York, because you'd be used to that. So it's a Yahtzee style game where you can roll the dice. You have, I think
it's 6.
Yeah, 6 dice, because you can get 2 extra dice. You roll 6 dice up to 3 times, and you keep what you want. At the end, you use them. If you have a claw symbol, you attack them and do damage to your opponent. If you get an energy symbol, you get an energy. If you get 3 stars, you get there's 2 markers, there's a fame marker and a destruction marker, and you want to pull those towards you. 3 stars will let you pull it once. Every extra star on top of that pulls it again. Same thing with the destruction symbol. There's an exclamation symbol. Every character has a special ability, and the exclamation symbol will trigger that in different ways. And then there's the heart symbol, and that is how you heal. Also in King of Tokyo Duel, everyone's a different monster. They have a different health, different abilities. There are also cards you can buy with the energy that do cool stuff. Some give you ongoing abilities, some are one-time abilities. And the other thing, that there's 3 ways to win. Knock out your opponent by getting their life to 0, or you can pull one of those markers all the way to your side of the board, or you can get both markers into this kind of little victory zone.
Yeah. The best monster is Mega Kitty with
Mega Kitty?
Extrophic power. If you look really closely at the art, there is really just a kitty, like a little kitty inside of the chest controlling the rope.
The robot kitty?
Yes.
Do you think Michael would do good in there?
Michael would control it. Yes.
He's pretty good at batting things around. He could probably play this game and roll the dice.
He probably
Maybe
could.
We'll figure that out. All right, let's just jump right into it. We saw this at Gen Con. This our second Gen Con game that we're talking about, right? We got to demo this at like a little event we went to.
Yeah, it was fun.
And since we liked the regular King of Tokyo, we basically kind of just jumped right in and got it figured out.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came out, I mean, this game is under $25. So I don't think you can go wrong with this game. Sorry, spoiler alert. But and you play this game in about 20-ish minutes. So even a little quicker than the Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth. Pros for me, like the components in this are awesome. The art is great. The card art is really cool, and the cards do all kinds of cool stuff.
It's a very good game. I would say that Gigasaur looks a lot more realistic than in just normal King of Tokyo.
Yeah, I like the art on this version. The colors seemed a little more amped up. I don't know. It's a little more. The art is more exciting and like bringing you in.
I would say it's less cartoonish and more like if you're like teenage end of the world poster.
Almost a little bit of a comic book vibe.
Yeah,
like that epic comic book.
Or like realistic comic book.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, I like the other thing I like is the cards. Like in the regular game, a lot of times you might just ignore the energy sometimes and just try to beat up people and things, or try to heal and stay alive. But in this one, even if you don't roll energy, you still accrue an energy at the end of the turn if you don't buy a card.
Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty cool that you'll eventually be able to get them. And then some of the cards have these little symbols on them that let you put tokens on the board.
Oh, yeah.
Which then give you extra juice when you land the fame or the destruction token on them. And then they also can either be shortcuts or make it longer for an opponent to try to like move their thing.
On that tug of war tracks.
Yeah. So just like in Duel for Middle-earth, I think it's cool to be able to battle people on multiple things. And tonight I didn't have a bunch of cards, but I had a couple of cards that like synergized with like my monster power. And so when I was pulling the power thing to me, I was also doing damage to Jeremy. So he had to try to heal up, and then he got a thing that could pull the power thing back to him.
And I got a regeneration power, but I didn't roll heart, so I stopped regenerating myself.
I remember the first time I played this game, I played as at Dungeons Gate, I played as Mecha Dragon, and I found a combo. I used his ability and like 2 other cards and womboed it into like in like very OP ability. Like, I used one, then it affected one, then it affected that one, then it went back around and affected the other one, and then OP, like I said.
How many times do you play the regular version with more than 2 people?
Mostly
you play King of Tokyo with more than 2?
I think I've played a King of Tokyo once or twice with Beau.
I would say
with only 2, but normally if he wants to pull that out, I'm like, it's not very good at 2 players.
Yeah.
So do you think this fixes?
I would
that?
say
like,
that
fixes the.
Yeah. I would never play King of Tokyo at 2. I would just play King of Tokyo Duel.
Agreed.
I don't think it's any harder than King of Tokyo, and I think it's easier than King of New York, which is a little more gamey version of King of Tokyo.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. I don't know. There's not much I could think of con-wise for this. I really like the fact that it has player powers. I like the fact that there's a sticker sheet in there, and for the longest time, we had no idea what it was for, but on the side of the box, there's achievements, and when you do them, you put the sticker on the box, which is just kind of fun.
There's one.
We haven't done
The
any
stickers
of them
are
yet.
cool. They're cool stickers.
They're cool looking.
There's one named Grim Reaper, I think, and it's you die at the same time.
Double knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any cons for this?
No. In my opinion, no.
I think my con is this game, just the Tokyo games have never grabbed me that much. I was just looking at my history. I played King of Tokyo twice on the same day in 2021, and I haven't played it since.
Sure.
But I own it. And I think it's one of those games. My kids don't generally ask to get games out, so I have to ask them.
Yeah.
And I always ask them for different games. And I'm not really sure why. Like, there's nothing in this game I don't like.
You should try to get King of Tokyo out with all your kids.
I've played it. I was looking.
Like it.
I played it once with just one other one, and then we played it once 3-player. So I don't know if we just didn't play like with 4 would make it more exciting.
I mean, it's fun. Like it's fun to like go into Tokyo, and then when you roll the dice, you hit everyone outside of Tokyo, but you can't heal when you're in there. So like that's a fun thing.
One thing. My only con is that this game is so good that every time I see it, it makes me go, oh.
So is this a 4-boing game for you?
4 boing.
Oh.
So many 4 boings. Beau loves everything, except for when he says that game's boring.
And I think that's, I'm not going to say this game is boring, but it doesn't grab me in.
Yeah.
And so I don't really push to play it, but I don't have a bad time when I play it. Like I have fun and like I joke and I gist and
I mean, I guess my con would be I'm probably not going to pull this out with another adult.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's just a game that I think I just haven't bought because my kids don't want to play it and I don't pick it out that much.
Yeah, I mean, it says 8+ on the box. And I think that's pretty right.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know. This is something that I think this one I'll probably take on trips with us even, Beau, because this is short and like we would love to play this in like
small box.
I play it quick. In the car.
You played in the car?
Yeah.
Perfect.
We could get like a little mini table and then play it.
All right, let's do final thoughts on King of Tokyo Duel.
Bet.
If you like King of Tokyo, you're probably going to like King of Tokyo Duel. If you don't, I'm not sure that it fixes anything with that, but I think it makes it a good 2-player quick game.
Okay.
2.5 boings for me.
I have a plug. No, I have a beef quick.
What's your beef?
Why does the space penguin look so angry? And why did somebody hurt his eyeball?
I don't know. That's who I was, and I died.
Aw, that's sad.
I got murdered.
Okay. Back to the boing rating. That is a 4.
4 boings.
I have infinite amount of 4 boings, so you can't be laughing. It's my superpower.
I'm gonna give it 2 boings. I do think maybe I would be able to play this version more. Like just grab one of my kiddos and me getting all 3 kiddos to play a game is like the stars have to align because one of them always wants to do something else. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's an okay game. 2 boings.
Sweet.
Agreed. Everything's so good.
All right, let's hit up the last one. Star Wars, the deck building game. The fate of the galaxy is in your hands. Let's just leave it at that. You know, Jedi, space, ships, Darth Vader.
Beau, come to the dark side. I am your father.
Okay.
We have cookies.
Yummy.
Let's get the stats for Star Wars, the deck building game. Came out in 2023. It is ranked 227th overall.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
That's pretty high.
Wait, what's number 1?
34 family.
Hey, wait, actually.
Number 1 right now?
Is the higher number the better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what's the highest number currently?
I'll have to go look. I'll let you know.
Brass Birmingham is number 1.
It is.
I was just looking.
What's Brass?
Beau, you'd give it a 0.1 boing.
What is it?
It is a train route building game.
Cool. Like Ticket to Ride?
Resource delivery.
Like a lot more confusing than
Build
that.
a network.
So, like, Ticket to Ride...
times 10.
The rest of the stats for this are, it is 2 players, 30 minutes long, 12 plus. They say this is the easiest one of the 3 games we talked about, 2.02 out of 5. The designer is Caleb Grace, artist is Jake Murray, plus 34 more, and this is out by Fantasy Flight Games. So this is a deck building game. It's a standalone game. Don't get it confused with a collectible card game. Basically, it's your basic deck builder where you draw cards, you play them. The cards can have 3 values on them. One is credits, one is an attack power, and one is the force. And the force is kept on this little tracker. And if it's on your side, it is currently on the light side, or then if it's on the dark side, it's on the dark side. And sometimes your cards will say, if the force is on your side, something bonus will happen. It's interesting. I don't think we did it that often, but I think turns can take so long in this one that taking resources, there's little cubes that you keep as resources to keep track. You could just like play the cards and be like, I have $5 to spend. And then there's a cool thing where there's a row in the middle between you and you face the rebel cards your way and the empire cards the other. I keep saying that because I played the rebels tonight and Jeremy played the dark side.
The dark side.
And then there's like an intermediate faction that is on neither side that you can both buy.
That I've never seen anything like that in any deck builder where.
If you play Star Realms,
Mm-mm.
This is kind of like Star Realm.
I thought that was interesting when you first described that some cards go, like some are for me to buy, some are for the other person to buy, some are for both, but then you can kill the ones, like you can take out the ones, snipe them out that are for the other person. I thought it was fun when I tore apart your Millennium Falcon before you could buy it.
So sad. Yeah, it's cool. Like you can buy the cards. So you can buy the cards from the row. You can then play cards from your hand and get the stuff. You can activate the cards that you play. You can also use the cards you play to attack other people's ships and then their base. And whoever, depending on the length of game you're playing, you're trying to destroy so many of the other players' base. And then you win the game when that's over. Cards you buy go into your discard pile. And the other interesting thing is you have the ships, the capital ships you buy stay out on the board until they're destroyed by the opponent, and they block and defend your base, which is cool. And the bases all have different abilities. And you just kind of go back and forth until someone's destroyed enough bases.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Don't get cocky.
Don't get cocky, kid.
Have you played this game yet, Beau? This Star Wars deck building game?
Yeah. I think. I don't remember it, but
it's been a couple years. I think it was a little too much for you at the time. This one also you can play with more than 2 players. We should play it again. It came with cool sleeves. This one did.
Yeah, I did like those.
There is an expansion for it as well, which is like the Rebels expansion or like the Clone Wars expansion. So I don't know if like you can mix and match because like it's a different timeline. Maybe it's its own standalone box or like a standalone expansion.
Yeah. Think you play by itself.
If I say this, I'm not sure, but I do like it's very thematic. Like it's got all the characters you know in there. Like, and when you get Han
Boba
Solo,
Fett killed you. Boba Fett, he got the death blow.
Yeah, when you get like Han Solo, he gets a bonus if you also have the Millennium Falcon.
I was trying to kill him, but you got him before I could.
Yeah. It does have another unique thing that you can kill your opponent's cards out of the row, and then you get a bonus when you do that. So it's like, do I kill that card so you can't get it, or do I go straight to the dome and try to kill your base?
And there's like Boba Fett, if Boba Fett killed a guy out of the row, like got the bounty or whatever, his ability let me draw another card. So it almost was enticing me to kill people out of the row, which I thought was kind of thematic for him.
Yeah. I don't know. I really I don't play it as often as I should just because so many games, but
I like the concept of your home bases, and I had like a pile that I could pick from, and they had different abilities. And so it was a neat design. It was a neat question, like thought process in my head that I had to go through once you killed the base of like, okay, what base am I going to throw out here next? And like looking through them, I was like, this one.
Yeah.
So I thought that was neat. And there was like an extra pile off to the side that were more bases that.
Yeah. And they just tell you like in the starter game, which since I hadn't played it for a while, we just did that, but In the full game, you just can pick from the whole stack the whole time.
It almost like doubled the size of bases.
Like
I think
every time a base gets destroyed, you just go to your stack and pick a new one.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and there's a few different. I think I would play the next time. There's a variant where you can basically pay off the neutral people to go away. My main con for this, if you don't have a really good shuffle or a bad run of luck, it was like I was just buying tons of neutral things, which was kind of boring to me. I wanted to buy the rebels, but I saw one rebel card for the first 70% of the game, and then like a bunch of rebels came out in the end.
Yeah.
Like, but you had all these cool cards that I could.
I had Star Destroyers and Boba, and I had TIE Fighters, Beau.
So on the upside, it's cool that I can assassinate those dudes out of the row, but on the downside, it's also crazy that like it just escalates so quickly. Like at the beginning, you're like 2 damage.
2 damage.
And later on, you're like, all right, I'm going to attack. This is like 12 damage.
Well, usually it'd be like, I'm doing 2. Okay, 3 more. Okay, now take 2 more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how much damage are you doing over here?
Yeah. I think technically you're supposed to like put them all in front of the thing and like tap them at once, but I don't see the point in that.
No.
Yeah.
When you say you're just going to, because I think you just like play all your cards and you're like, hey, these guys are going to attack them and use these abilities.
Yeah. Hoth, the base has a crazy ability. Tell them about it.
It blocks the first 2 damage of every every round.
No, like 4? First 4.
First 2.
Just 2.
Well, still, it's kind of overpowered.
I had one that made all my troopers and vehicles do 1 extra damage.
Nice.
Yeah,
that was a cool
and it has lots of keywords in it for like vehicles or troopers or
the artwork's nice. Like I like the artwork.
Yeah.
It's like video game artwork, like not too cartoonish or not too real looking.
Yeah, I like the artwork. Sleeves were nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the
theme is fun.
More than the 2-player game would be any good or not.
Is this one that's still sold, or is this? Yeah.
It's only a couple of years old.
Okay.
I'd say for me, this one's probably like a 2-boinger. I'm not like a huge deck builder person. Also, I'm not a huge, like if I had, like if Beau really liked this game, I'd play this game with them all the time.
I would.
Okay, well, there we go.
Like it.
Maybe we need to try it again then, huh? I guess we'll see. What are your thoughts on it from what you can remember?
It was pretty good.
What's your boing?
4 to boy.
4. 3, 4 boingers?
This is just arbitrary at this point.
What does that mean?
It means you just say 4 no matter what it is.
Because it's a good game.
He just loves every game.
Okay, well.
The only thing that I wouldn't give it 4 is Wonders Duel. I give it a 0.1.
0.1.
0.1 for which one? Oh, 7 Wonders Duel.
It's too complex.
Yeah.
All right.
And like,
I'm gonna give it a 2.5 with an asterisk. I think the asterisk is if I played it a bunch more, would it start to get not samey, but so in Dominion, I like Dominion because you can create different combos of cards that are out there, which can create vastly different strategies. On this one, I don't know. Am I just gonna buy crap that's cool and like? I don't know how much of a strategy I can craft with my deck versus just getting the most powerful cards that pop out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's kind of what it is for me too. I mean, there is quite a bit of ways to cull cards in this deck, at least.
Yeah.
At least the way I was playing it, but I lost. So we actually split 2 and 2 tonight. We're gonna have to play a rubber match game. Of
That's
something.
right. Finn's fan.
Finn's fan.
I have an idea.
What, buddy?
Dice. 2 dice, each of you. You roll it. Hope you don't get snake eyes.
How about a clip?
I feel like you're just playing something from Beast Games, probably.
I think the theme is what helped bring it to 2.5. Now, would that get not as fun after I played it multiple times? Possibly. Like, he was like, oh, IG-88. Like, just seeing all the cards pop was, I think, part of what I had a lot of fun with on this tonight.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do our Board Boys Bump and Dump. That is when we look back at a game we played at a year ago and see what has happened to it in the ratings. 1 year ago, we talked about Ticket to Ride Legacy, Legends of the West. At the time, it was an 8.8 for 355 overall on the Board Game Geek rankings.
Ticket to Ride Legacy, bump or dump?
Bump.
Bump? I think it's a bump.
It is a bump. It is currently 107 overall.
107?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to get in the top 100?
Probably. And it is 7 in family. Speaking of family, Beau, you actually played Ticket to Ride Legacy with us. You played it at 5 players.
Very good.
I gave it a 3. It is still a 3. It is probably the only Legacy game I've ever played after we were done playing the Legacy game.
Really?
I really want to say cool stuff about it, but I would literally spoil it. So.
Yeah. What would your boing rating of Ticket to Ride Legacy?
Let me guess. 1 boing.
4.
4?
He really liked it. Beau is not a big strategy game player.
I'd like to place down trains.
He did, and he liked collecting all the cards.
Oh.
This is a game I have on my shelf, wrapped up, and I'm waiting to finish up a different Legacy game first. And once that one's done, I'm going to crack it open with the same group. But
you need to do it. It's super fun, and you absolutely need to do it.
I'm looking forward to it. I even bought the 25th anniversary deluxe trains, which I'm hoping I'll be able to use when we play it.
I think so.
Because they're just replacement trains for the colors. Yeah. One of the trains is like melt cars, I think.
That seems cool.
What is the game that you're currently doing?
We're doing Clank Legacy, the first one, not the second one. And I think we're close to a year it's taken us.
Didn't you want to do that? Weren't you the one who wanted to do that, but you never got it?
I played Clank Legacy. I'm waiting to play Clank Legacy 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Why do you say that?
I do, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the guild. Dave Braun says, love TTR Legacy. Recently finished the game, and everyone in my group enjoyed the game. It is easy enough for most people to learn and play thanks to how widespread TTR is, but adds enough to the game to make it distinguished from the main series of games. 3 boings.
3!
Very solid. BJ from Board Game Gumbo, this one is easy. It was the best game I played in 2023, my game of the year. 3 boings. I would go 4.5 boings, but Tim will just edit this out. Tim doesn't edit, unfortunately.
Best game of the year?
Jeremy Dobler. We're about 5 plays in, and so far it's been fun. Nothing too outlandish, but a fun way to mix up the TTR formula, and I can't wait to see the final replayable version. 2 boings from us. Probably not a bump, though, since Legacy games are exceptionally hard to table unless you're a captive audience. Well, you're wrong on that. It is a huge bump.
It is a massive bump.
Jeremy Thilman says, still wrapped on my shelf.
When did I write this?
January 24th.
Oh, okay.
Waiting to finish Clank Legacy. Only 2 games to go! Exclamation mark. I did pick up the deluxe train set, hoping I can use those in TTR. And
I still have 2 games to go on Clank Legacy, so I've made 0 progress in a month and a half.
Then Nate Simon says, was this really a year ago? Holy smokes, can't believe it's been that long, but I still have super fond memories about this campaign.
Yeah, I love that.
I played through it with my son, and we had a blast, and we're always looking forward to the next mission.
I had a blast too.
I loved nearly every new module that was introduced, and the story was engaging enough to keep me curious and coming back for more. Definitely one of the top Legacy games that I've ever played.
Agreed.
Wow. I'd like to hear from Jeremy if he's finished it and where his ranking is once he finished it.
My guess is he hasn't finished it. That was only like a month ago.
So. Oh, I was okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you want to finish a Legacy game in a month? I can finish a Legacy game in a day. Because
if you're me, it takes a year and a half, 2 years.
I feel like I could just sit down with a couple of friends and complete a Legacy game if we pulled an all-nighter for it.
Do you want to hear a funny story?
That would never happen.
I was playing Pandemic Legacy Season 1 when the COVID pandemic started. So we think maybe somehow that started the pandemic.
You let it out of the box?
We couldn't finish the game. We had to take a big pause because we were all quarantining and etc.
The box had summoned the... Wait, was that COVID? Didn't someone eat a bat or something?
I'm right there with Jeremy. I like Legacy games, but I can never get the same group to play. Like,
Legacy games are so good.
It's just so hard to get the consistent group and get a consistent time for me.
Agreed.
I played so many Legacy games. It's my favorite thing in the world for
I
gaming.
loved them. They were we
And I finished every single one that I've ever started except Risk Legacy. And I started that before Beau was born.
Uh-oh.
and everyone moved away. I have like 3 games left.
Who are the people?
We got together like one time and like some people filled in. I just want to get people to fill in and play the last 2 or 3 games of Risk Legacy.
Shout the people out.
It's
Give
fun.
them shout outs.
Well,
who are
your Grandpa Phil.
Yeah.
Your Uncle Jordan.
Yeah.
My friend Mike.
Yeah.
Your mom.
Yeah.
And me.
Yeah.
Were the 5 that were playing.
Mom didn't move away.
She didn't.
Yeah, you said everybody moved away.
Okay. Everyone but your mom and I are the only 2 people left that can play Risk Legacy. So
I would come in.
It is super fun. Almost so much so that I would almost get it again just to play it with a different group.
Ooh,
is that Matt Leacock?
I would play that with you, Papa. I would play that
Pandemic.
with you. I would play that with you. I would play that with you.
It's super neat. So
Agreed.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Have you ever played the regular Risk game, Beau?
What's Risk?
I used to play that a lot when I was younger.
What's Risk?
Went from Risk to Axis and Allies.
I've never played Axis and Allies.
I have like an old version with box falling apart.
I like Mousetrap.
20 years ago or whatever.
Mousetrap is my favorite game. When you ask someone, hey, do you like board games? And they say, yeah, like Monopoly.
Should have seen the face Beau just gave. All right, well, thanks for listening to another episode of the Board Boys Podcast, Season 16, Episode 4, the Wacky 2-Player Game Edition with 3 of us here.
With Yo, what's up? Board Boy Beau.
Who decided this was a thing? All right. Go to theboardboys.com and check out all the cool links. You can join us on the Discord there. Beau is also on the Discord. He threatened to join and he did.
I saw him posting chess pictures the other day.
Well, that was just for the password game, guys. Don't ask. Actually, we should do a bonus episode for the password game where we should record and try to beat it. And try to beat it.
It's so hard.
We'll stream for like an hour, but we'll get it.
You can go visit the Patreon link there and support this hot mess we got of a show here. We appreciate it. We'd like to thank our patrons now.
Yeah.
Hammond McDonough, BJ from Board Game Gumbo, Timothy Crisco, Shifty Teeth, Mitchell Prudhomme, Jordan Smith, Jeff Gray, Andre Bosch, Braden Dowdy, Rob Cooper, Richard Lane, Matt Kelly, Jeremy Thoman, and Dom Lankin.
And me.
Are you a patron?
I want to be.
Okay, give me money.
I'll give you my 3/4.
All right. Well, until next time, we hope you like board games.
Beep 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 beep. Boys. Boing boing.